2017 may not have been the best year for Cartoon Network when it comes to adding new shows to their roster, OKKO notwithstanding, but thankfully it seems they've decided to make up for that with a brand new premiere of a whopping 6 animated shows over the course of 2018. Cartoon Network had teased us with previews of their new shows such as Craig of the Creek and Summer Camp Island back during San Diego Comic-Con in July. However, out of all of the announcements that they had made regarding the future cartoons on their network, the ones that have piqued my curiosity the most were Unikitty and Megaman. Unikitty is based off of the character of the same name from the Lego Movie, which came out back in 2014. Her character in this film was an overly joyful, excited unicorn kitty who was all about smiles and sunshine and rainbows and all that cutesy, happy stuff. The main gimmick of her personality is that whenever something gets in the way of her positive vibes, she becomes enraged and loses her temper while turning into this angry, fierce version of herself. It plays on the whole irony of a cutesy, innocent little thing like her becoming this vicious destroyer of worlds when upset. At first I was a bit skeptical as to how this cartoon spin-off of the character would play out, seeing as there wasn't too much to go off of based on what we were given in the Lego Movie. After further inspection and watching the first couple episodes, I've realized that this show is going the same route as most others in this day and age of being a comedy revolving around 5 major characters. Unikitty, her brother Puppycorn, a scientist named Dr. Fox, their bodyguard Hawkodile, and a floating Lego brick named Richard. Together, the 5 of them roam around their Unikingdom as wacky antics follow them wherever they go. It's worth noting that the setting of this show is different from where Unikitty was located in the film, that place in question being Cloud Cuckoo Land. There aren't too many connections that can really be made between the show and the movie from what I've seen so far, seeing as the only commonality I've found between the two is Unikitty herself. Even still, there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, it's just more indicative that this series is purely meant to be a spin-off that wants to do its own thing instead of tying into a bigger film the way shows like Disney's own Big Hero 6 cartoon does, for example. Either method is perfectly fine, and there's no real wrong way to go about this. Unikitty is voiced by none other than, you guessed it, Tara Strong, and quite frankly, if you don't know who she is by this point, you're probably very, very young. Her role as Unikitty sounds as if someone turned her excitement dial all the way up to 11 and then some. Imagine drinking 5 cans of Red Bull followed by downing like 20 bags of Skittles and Pop Rocks, and that's exactly what you get with Unikitty's personality. Half the time I can't help but notice Tara sounds like Twilight Sparkle having one of her infamous freakouts, only it never seems to cease as it goes on 24/7.
How can you only feel fine on this beautiful day?
I personally don't mind it because I'm pretty tolerant when it comes to that sort of thing, but I can understand exactly why several people would not want to be listening to constant excited yelling for an entire episode. It could get a little grating on the ears. The rest of the cast includes Grey DeLisle as Puppycorn, so again, another shoo-in right there. Kate Micucci takes up the reins as Dr. Fox, and Roger Craig Smith voices both Hawkodile and Richard. So needless to say, this cast is a pretty tiny yet experienced and talented group of people. Also, can I just talk about the intro song for a second? Damn, did Baby Metal do a good job with it. While on the short side, it hammers down that mix of happy, fruity innocence with brutal, bloody death metal that just strikes that perfect balance between the two. Really glad Warner Brothers got them to do that theme song. It was a perfect fit for them given their typical music style. I've found myself humming those opening few notes again and again over the past couple days. At the time of me making this video, I have only seen the first 3 episodes that have premiered in the series: Spooky Game, Sparkle Matter Matters, and No Day Like Snow Day. The first of these episodes features Unikitty and Puppycorn getting excessively competitive over a board game together to the point where they let their own desire to win consume them. They end up taking home a board game possessed by a demon equivalent to the likes of you die in the game, you die in real life, only replace the death aspect with eternal pain and torture. After the two of them leave their other friends behind, trapped forever inside the game, Unikitty realizes her pride got the better of her and allows her and her brother to win the game together, effectively ruining the Phantom's plan and freeing them from the curse. Almost. The second episode, Sparkle Matter Matters, features Unikitty trying to get her friend Richard to express himself through various fun and exciting activities.
Is this working?
No.
Is this working?
No.
Is this working?
No. No. No.
After messing with his emotions and causing an imbalance within him due to the potions they had created, Unikitty realizes that she should just allow him to express himself the way he feels he's comfortable with, and that there's nothing wrong with that. The last of the 3 episodes revolves around the main antagonist of the show, Master Frown. He's essentially the polar opposite to Unikitty in the sense that he thrives on people's misery and sadness rather than their joy and happiness, and takes great satisfaction in ruining things for others. In this episode, he attempts to ruin Unikitty's snow day, only to get trapped inside a snowman Puppycorn was building, which the main group thinks is just a snowman come to life. Well, most of them think that anyways.
So you knew that was...
Master Frown?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is an episode meant for pure comedy and nothing else. Unikitty seems to be following the trend that Ben 10 and the Powerpuff Girls 2016 also follow, in the sense that they have a large chunk of episodes that intend to teach a lesson, some being better written than others, but there's also a selection of episodes that are meant for pure entertainment. It should come as no surprise that Unikitty is following the same formula that Teen Titans Go popularized so much over the past couple of years. However, I get the feeling that people are going to be more forgiving of this show because it's not just a reboot of a former Cartoon Network series that targeted a different audience. It's its own thing. I wouldn't expect everyone to welcome Unikitty with open arms or anything, although I would, considering she'll probably maul you to death if you don't, but the cartoon honestly seems pretty harmless. And of the 3 episodes that I've seen so far, guess what? No gross out humor. Nothing. There was not a single instance of it present anywhere within these episodes. And while it's true that that could change with future episode releases, good first impressions are still very important, and I can happily say that Unikitty left a very good first impression on me. I genuinely would not mind if this show suddenly became a big thing on the network, because based on what I've seen so far, it's just a show that wants to have a good time. It's fun, it's happy, it's cute, and I've enjoyed what I've seen so far.
Thanks, Unikitty! Aw, yay!
And I finally got to punch danger in the face.
Aw, yay!
And I'm a dog!
Aw, yay! Everything's back to normal. Yeah!
I recommend giving it a try if you're even a little bit curious, because who knows, it may surprise you the same way that it did me.